Digits on the beat.
So what do you do? So go into more depth about that. What do you do to find out that they're not a buyer in the beginning?
Yeah, so I typically still start with my state license, and I'll say, hey, here's a copy of my state license, whichever state I'm in. Right now with the insurance commissioner in the state of Indiana, feel free to take a picture of that if you want. Most people say no, no problem. I flip it over and say, these are all the companies that I represent. I'm not a captive agent. All that means for you is I get to shop around. I don't actually have to use any of these products. My goal is just to shop for you, to put you in the best position possible. I said, so I focus on mortgage protection, all different types of life insurance, as well as future income planning. We can talk about all those things, but the thing we're here specifically to talk about today is the final expenses to take care of your burial costs, or the mortgage protection to make sure that your family is safe and protected if something should happen. And then I'll say, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a few health questions, a few finance questions, because I really want to understand a big picture of what your life looks like, so I understand the need and the value. Now, when you fill this card out, what was that need? What were you ultimately looking to solve? Which problem were you looking to solve? And they'll typically tell me, well, I just wanted to do this, or I wanted to do that. I'm like, okay, perfect. So here's what we're going to do. After I get a real snapshot of where you're at, I'm going to make a couple of recommendations, and you'll go ahead and pick the one that solves the need and fits within your budget. And if you find that solution, we're going to go ahead and submit an application today through my iPad to see if we can get you approved. Does that sound fair? And typically, and that's about as hard as I go on it. I don't really tie them down, but at that point, I feel like I have a pretty good idea at that point.
Yeah.
Whether they're serious or if they get kind of weird about it. Then I'll dig into it. I feel like for the most part, I shoot people pretty straight, and I feel like I don't ever get any real weird objections. If they're just not into it, or they thought it was free or something like that, I typically will find that out on the phone when I'm booking the appointment.
Yeah, true.